everybody. Didn't get that early start, but we'll still try to get a couple of games in here. Thinking about doing some Braum. Some Braum and Tom. Poppy is becoming a little more popular. Maybe in the right kind of matchup. Maybe I check out Poppy. I don't know. Winter's Bite might be worth it for Braum too later on. Or not Winter's Bite. Solstice Slay. Because you're not, like, in there attacking people as much as Leona. I don't know. Claw and Solstice Slay both have high win rates. I don't know that you need Celestial Opposition. I feel like you're already really tanky. Especially if you get Warmogs. Frozen Heart could be a decent little combo with his shield, too. Because you're taking reduced damage from the shield, but this blocks a flat amount. It's only up to a percentage, though. I don't know the exact math on that. I feel like, I don't know, the last couple of days have been sort of mixed. Leona does feel very strong, but if you fall ahead or if you fall behind or you're weak-sided and you're just getting camped, that's can kind of be a problem too. But I still do think Leona is probably top tier. Braum is good into Leona though. Last time I played on the Smurf was 3 days ago? I thought I like dodged or something. Yeah. Or a day ago I had a dodge in a play. So I'm 5-1 on her with a 10 KDA over 6 games. What? Okay. So maybe I'm doing better than I thought with her. I guess just Camille. Who was I banning? I was thinking of banning Morgana just because she's obnoxious to play against. But yeah, anything but Rakan crew has been doing pretty well on this account. Twitch. Oh, we need to kill Twitch, so we can't just. I mean, like Braum's shield is decent against Twitch, but. Zyra's pretty good into Braum though. I think I'll just do Leona, I guess.
The dawn has arrived.
Zyra could also be jungle. Is Font worth? I mean, the only other real option there is Demolish. Yeah, you do have to suppress Twitch, you're right. Okay, so it is Leona, or Zyra. Overgrowth. I don't know what Ivern could go anywhere. Okay, so I have been losing on my main account with Leona. Leona incidentally does a lot of damage with her passive too. That is a nice thing. Once Smolder gets his AoE, he does do quite a bit of splash damage in fights. So that does help proc your Sunlight if you're hitting multiple people with it. That's a cool Zyra skin. What's up, Visigoth? Good to see you, man.
Fell magic.
so we'll probably have to get a Null Magic Mantle and a Rejuve Bead fairly early. Really?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, they got some weird runes going on over there.
This land's evils to rest. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Chosen of the Eclipse. That is my title. Minions have spawned.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for stuff. Clownery.
The last light approaches.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. Forgot we don't have to leash for Ivern. I'm surprised more people don't play Ivern. I mean, I guess all the rage right now is with the Faded Ashes. They might need to just nerf that item again, honestly. Like, they've nerfed half the champs that use it. At least for the jungle. Like, just how fast it clears jungle. Like, maybe reduce the modifier against monsters or something. I don't know. I think there are other junglers that are, like, viable. I don't think you have to play an AP jungler, but... But at the same time, like, it's pretty good. I don't know, like, tank junglers are good too. Like, Sejuani's picked a lot in LCK. I think assassins are kind of bad right now, which is part of why, like, double AD carry is a comp that's very common. So, like, they could nerf. I mean, really, it's just Corki and Triss. I feel like other AD carries mid aren't as much of a problem. So they could try just nerfing those, but they could also just buff stuff like assassin items a little bit. They did nerf them, but... Zyra's, like, not even trying to harass. Like, I don't think she's cast one spell yet. Alright, I'm gonna... Just in case she decides to wake up, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a Rejuve Bead here. There could be some other ones, though. Yeah, I mean, Lilia is the big one. I'm trying to think. Surely there are some other ones that can use Faded Ashes. Maokai? I guess he probably... Yeah, because he'll get Leandries, right? How'd that not trigger that? I thought we were just gonna freeze it there. I don't think we're gonna be able to get it all the way in. No, 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 no. Why are you flying forward aggressively? What the hell?
One below.
They're stronger early game, man. You've got tier. Wow, I did not even actually think he was there. That's hilarious. Hilarious till I die. I should have gone all in on that. I mean, that's just kind of the dangers. I was trying to help him push, but that didn't work out.
An enemy has been slain. This is the path to totality.
Akshan strong in solo queue? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think the game's in an okay state. It is a little annoying in pro that it's basically Corky Trist every game. Handshake, but it's alright. I think a lot of it circles back to the AP junglers being good, but maybe not, I don't know. It's probably a good thing I didn't actually land that. We're not gonna push this, or? Alright.
O impassive eye, wouldst thou aid thy chosen vessel? Cling to the twilight, lest true darkness swallow thee.
Akshan's like, I don't give a shit. Okay, there's Twitch. I guess he did have flash, but
Turn thine eyes to our patron, an eternal ring wreathed in flame.
yeah, it depends, man. I mean, there's not a specific formula for like what you should do every single game. Like, this is a pretty heavy poke lane with Zyra, and Smolder's pretty weak early on. So the boots are good, but I had about 500 gold, so I didn't want to spend it. So much of it depends on your back timing too, and how much gold you have. Like, I had 300 gold exactly on the first back. This is a pretty heavy poke lane. I can't really afford to leave the lane. I'm not going to be roaming that much with Smolder. So I wanted the Reju bead instead of the boots on my first back. And the second back, I had about 500 gold, so I don't want to buy just boots and have 200 gold left over, so I just completed the Reju item. I mean, I think so. If she wants to touch the wave versus Zyra Twitch. I just think at this elo bracket too, like, it's just extremely risky to leave your ADC. They will not respect it, they will not back up. So you better be virtually guaranteed to get a kill somewhere else if you're leaving. Or you're just getting completely roasted and they're just sitting under, you're just sitting under tower anyway, so there's nothing you can do in your lane. Then also maybe look for a roam, but with, you know, a Cho'Gath mid who has his flash versus Akshan. Akshan doesn't have a lot of setup.
Shadows hide nothing from me.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're gonna die. If she uses her plants, yeah.
It is but a small thing to fight for.
Okay.
I am but one light in an endless abyss. Fear not the sunless sun.
An enemy has been slain.
Is unnatural. This burning
Yeah, I didn't have the full 800 gold. I guess maybe you didn't see my original back. If I had a full 800 gold, yeah, I probably would have gotten Ruby Crystal Boots, but my first back, I had 300 gold exactly. So I'm, and then my second back, I think I had about 500. So yeah, it's unusual. Those are some weird back timings, but it was a lot of that was because Smolder, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. You know, it doesn't feel great. Just because Smolder like wanted to back early to get a tier, so our backs were like pretty odd. Usually people go back around, you know, 1,000 to 1,300 gold if you have a choice. I don't get the assist, but I didn't want to risk KSing that. Oh my god. Please kill him for flashing under tower. Okay. Alright. I think that ended up good for us, even though I died. What's up, Lucas? Yeah, Smolder can fly, but I don't know. I feel like, kind of like I said earlier, it's just really risky to leave your ADC. I always liked that story where I roamed and got, even just for the psychology of it. This was in like high platinum or low diamond, like old platinum. Like top, you know, 5-10% of the player base. And I left lane and I killed mid 3 times. Every time I roamed, I got a kill. And this guy was down 5 CS just farming under his tower. He said, if you leave lane again, I'm AFK. And I said, I got 3 kills. He said, I don't care.
Chosen of the eclipse. That is my title.
Yeah. So it's just like bad for people's mental too. I mean, maybe people are a little smarter these days, but I don't know. My stance has always been, unless you are like challenger or possibly pro, you're on comms with people, you better have a damn good reason for leaving mid or leaving your lane to go roam. There are reasons, there are ways, but it's going to be really bad for the mental. I don't know if Ivor and I can 1v2 this. I don't think we can. Like, you better get the kill.
Unstoppable.
Long is the night.
me the claw.
Shut down.
And Ivern's not here.
The Stygian fog obscures the nature of this place. Cling to the twilight, lest true darkness swallow you.
We need help.
Shadows hide nothing from you.
Yeah, let's back it up. I don't have vision.
Let our enemies win nothing but death.
Yeah, we did. I don't want to get involved in that.
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Tis the moon, ringed by a ravenous
Yeah, I'll let them get the XP on that. Or the gold.
star. I beseech thee.
What's up, bro? I don't think Warmogs is a bait. I mean, it depends on the math in general. If you're just talking health versus, we still have a control ward. I'm gonna go ahead and get this.
Put this land's evil
It's kind of a sin to not get a control ward every back, but that item's really nice. And I still have a control ward on the map. It's not super useful right now, but it's in the Dragon Pit. So, in general, it depends on your champ, what kind of scaling they have.
one above, one below.
But the more resistances you get, the more valuable health becomes relative to the cost. Because you're paying more for the same amount of protection, the more resistances you get. So, if you buy 20 armor when you have 100 armor, or let's just say 20 armor when you have 0 armor, it's extremely valuable. Like, you're getting, you know, the full value out of that. But then if you buy 20 armor at 100 value, then it's less valuable. And if you buy 20 armor at 300 value, it's even less valuable. Because of the way that it scales. I don't know all the mathematical terms, but it looks like a freaking...
One above.
It plateaus at the top. Same is true of magic resist. So, at a certain point, health is going to get more valuable than resistances are on a cost basis.
Has destroyed a turret.
Lighten thy eyes.
Ally has been slain.
I got your baited so freaking hard. Okay, they killed him though. I guess we traded. Okay, so, well, yeah, diminishing returns, but there's a mathematical term for a curve that flattens closer to infinity. It's not asymptote, but I don't remember. I haven't had math in about a billion years. But anyways, it flattens out. So that's just, in general, health versus resistances. It depends. Also, there are, you know, certain champions in the game that do percentage health damage. There are certain champions that do true damage. So obviously, percentage health is better against a lot of health, and true damage is better against resists. A lot of champions can also get penetration, which makes armor and magic resist less valuable. But there are also some champs that scale, that get increases to resistances or armor in their kits. And there are certain items and certain runes that scale with more resistances and health and all that stuff. So all of that aside, Warmog's is really powerful right now because of the movement speed. Not just the health, but the movement speed. The health itself is really good, but it's the fact that you get 15% out of combat movement speed. So you're almost getting like a little mini... It's almost like you're getting a little mini mobility boots to go with all that health. And you get, like, basically all your health back off of poke after 6 seconds. So you're basically, I think with the cost, if you include the health regen, which is less valuable over time, I think all of the stats combined, even just with the 5% movement speed, it's already more than 100% efficient. And then you get the 10% out of combat movement speed and the regeneration basically for free on top of it. So that's why people are getting it. It's because it's just way... the item is just way under budget. I mean, they recently gave it, I think, 250 more health. 200 or 250 more health.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Which is, if it's 250, it's like 600 something gold more value on it. So yes, in general, I don't like, historically, I don't like support items that are more than like 2,700 gold, just because tempo-wise, it's really awkward. And that's part of the, you know, big reason why, like, AP champs have had a hard time in the support role at higher elos of play, is just because their items are too expensive. They just don't get enough gold. They don't have enough, like, baseline power with CC and or shields.
I am but one light in an endless abyss. What dark dreams
Who the hell has redemption? Oh, Ivern, okay. Yeah, I don't know why we're not doing Baron. But yeah, it's just because it's just extremely good for its cash value. And there's a lot of poke champs that are popular right now too. You've got Ezreal, you've got like your Brand, your Zyras, Karthus. I mean, some of those are getting nerfed on this patch, but just like the regeneration is huge too. It's just a bit too strong for what it is.
wouldst thou aid thy chosen
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I mean by they just don't have enough innate power.
Shut down. An enemy
Like,
has
tanks
been slain.
have really high base stats. Usually they're more mobile.
Double kill.
And often they offer some kind of, like, protection or buffs or just things for allies. See how fast I'm moving, though? Like, that's the thing with Warmogs is... And I'd forgotten about that, because when people first started building Warmogs popularly after the buff, I was kind of like you. I was like, well, it's expensive. I don't know if it's worth it. But I totally forgot about the movement speed. I don't think support mages are always trash, but you have to snowball. You have to get a lot of gold. But that's why everybody's building Warmogs on like every engaged tank. And it almost always has the highest win rate too. If like it's 3%, I guess 2 and some change, 2.5% higher on Braum. And basically every engaged support, I'm almost positive, Warmogs is like the highest win rate popular item that they get. Yeah, it's like 3% higher on Leona. So a lot of people are still getting Locket, but Locket is the real bait item, I think, early on. There aren't that many percentage health passes. Yeah. I mean, Blade of the Ruined King got, like, turbo nerf. Not that many champs are getting it anymore. That was another thing that was kind of a big buff. But, I mean, just, like... So, all the reasoning that I just said right there, on top of solo queue, you see Warmogs has a higher win rate all the time. And in terms of pro play... Like, every single pro player that plays a tank is going to rush Warmogs. Just about. There might be a couple of exceptions every now and then. But I don't think Ashe builds it anymore. Blader and King. I don't think hardly anybody does. Almost all the on-hit people get Kraken. Which is true damage. Which health is better in that situation. But it also allows you to not have to get a magic resist item because there aren't that many sustained damage mages out there. There are some, but most of them are kind of burst. Burst or poke. Like, you aren't seeing, like, your Cassiopeia type of champs as much. So, Warmogs, if you just have a fat stack of health with all that regen, you can just back up, you know, if they hit you with something. Like the Leona, Warmogs 92% of the time. Nautilus, Warmogs 74% of the time. Now this is just completed, so games could finish before they actually finish Warmogs, which is possible in Pro. But yeah, the second is Locket at 19%. Rel, Warmogs 84% of the time. Top item by a million miles. Alistar, Warmogs. And Alistar has good survivability with his ult, obviously. Even Rakan is building Warmogs. And the item almost doesn't even make any sense on Rakan. Like, it's that strong. Item has, you know, he has no health scaling. So, I mean, I agree. It looks goofy. I don't like paying 3,100. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to get all health on top of it. Like, after you get Warmogs, you could get a Frozen Heart, or you could get a Locket, or a Knight's Vow, or whatever. Part of it also is they nerfed the hell out of Knight's Vow. So that's a big thing, too, is because some people were actually rushing Knight's Vow before. But they knocked off, like, 100 health and 5 or 10 ability haste on it. So, the only other option... I mean, you've got, like, Zeke's and Locket, or your other, like, realistic rush options. They also nerfed Frozen Heart several times. Because that was a rush for a little while there. Yeah, Locket is one of those things that, like, it feels strong, but statistically, it just always kind of underperforms. And it is good if like, you're consistently going to, it's gonna block, like, you're gonna use the shield on, like, 2 or 3 people in almost every fight. Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, I agree with you. Most of the time, I would not want to get a 3,000 gold tank item. You know, because it is too expensive. Like you're saying, it takes you forever to build it. It's like 1.5, you know, the price of 1.5 cheap tank items, like 2,200 gold items, just about. And it's a greedy item. Like, it doesn't do anything to buff your allies up. It doesn't do anything to protect your ADC. So, yeah, I mean, like, on paper, theoretically, I agree with you. It's just the numbers are so big on Warmogs that it's just an exception right now. It'll probably get nerfed in a patch or two, I would guess. I guess let's ban Camille. I don't know. I don't know who to ban. I think Jinx, Caitlyn, Morgana is someone worth banning. Who's really annoying. So yeah, I wasn't really a believer at first either, but it's like every pro does it. Statistically, it's wins a lot. Statistically, I win a lot when I play it, so I just kind of have to, like, well, it is what it is. And I think it's just because the numbers are just too crazy. It's also just kind of the meta where, like I said, where there's just kind of a lot of poke. Like, people are playing double range bottom, that type of stuff. Could try Nautilus here, just to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, if we just look at the cost on this thing, it's like total gold value, face value, just the stats on it, if it has no passives, is 104% efficient. Most tank items are not that. I think Locket, they might be close to 100. I think Locket's like 90% or something. And gold efficiency is not everything. But again, it's another piece of evidence, among other, you know, all this other stuff that's going on. It's 98%, so it's like, it's not that bad in terms of efficiency. But it's like, you get the shield every 90 seconds. Part of it is Warmogs always works too, versus this is only every 90 seconds. And there's just so much YOLO queue where people are just constantly fighting. That sometimes it's just not going to be available. But it's just, you get the, they also lowered this. So basically you can trigger the regeneration off of just one item. Off of Warmogs itself, plus scaling health runes, plus your support item. You have this, like, just by itself when you complete it. So that helps. It used to be that you'd have to get, you know, 1.5 items to turn on the passive. And then somewhere along the line, it got this 10% movement speed. I don't remember when it got that, but that's like crazy value. So that movement speed's like 500 something value. So that right there is already, you know, for a 3,100 gold item, just off the movement speed, even without the regen, you're already looking at, you know, 3,800 something gold. It's like 130%. And then, of course, if you factor in the regen, it's just stupid. It's like a 15,000 gold item. But yeah, I mean, the true damage is definitely a thing. I feel like there's a lot more true damage, especially Kraken is so popular on hit champions right now. That there's really not as much percentage health damage after people are taking, or like, since a lot of people are not taking Blade the Ruined King. And Blade the Ruined King, even if they do take it, it was nerfed heavily. At least for range champs. So I'm sure there are some champs out there that are like, you know, still, you know, can do percentage damage, but the fact you've got Kraken does true damage and almost everybody gets Lord Doms, even if someone doesn't have a full tank, a lot of times you're still getting third item Lord Doms, right? So that's just going to carve through armor. Takes a lot of value out of armor. And we're just not like, we're not seeing like the Kog'Maws as often. It just feels like health is just extremely OP right now. And like I said, a lot of the mages are usually like burst mage type of stuff or poke. And you're good versus burst or poke with Warmogs. It's just the like Cassiopeia high sustained damage mages that would be a problem. Zyra can be that if you sit in her plants forever, but I just feel, I don't know. I feel like Blade was fine. I don't know why they nerfed it. Like, the champs that got it weren't that strong. Okay, we have someone that wants to play Camille. Guess I'll just get Jinx out of there.
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
There are some champs that scale really well with health, too. Like, Leona is one where she's already going to get a lot of resists off of Aftershock and her W. Now, her W does scale if you have more resists. So that is true. You do get extra scaling off of Leona's W. But you also keep in mind kind of what I said before, where if you, once you get to a certain level of resists, they become less valuable over time. So there's that, too. So health is just, like, really good on Leona. And then Tahm, Kench, and Braum both, like, get a lot of damage off of extra health as well. Like, I think Braum's Q scales off of health and Tom's passive scales off of health. That's not the main reason you get it, but it's like, it is a thing. I mean, the fact that Rakan's getting it just is stupid. Like, if anyone's gonna not get it, it would be Rakan. Like, Rakan almost always skips a lot of the heavy tank items historically and just gets utility items, but just because he has so much mobility. I could do Tahm here. Tahm would be good against Nocturne, I think, but I'll try Braum.
The heart is the strongest muscle.
Braum, like, Kaisa can jump around you to get around your shield, sort of. I'm not a big fan of Maokai's support. I don't think he's horrible. I haven't honestly played him in a little while, but he's very close range. Braum is just extremely good in team fights, too. Like, it's so much CC off of his passive. But, I mean, their team is pretty good against Braum, not gonna lie. I mean, they've got a bunch of melees that just kind of run around him. So, like, Maokai is better in the jungle right now when you can actually get, like, Leandries on him. He really wants to get Leandries and then go tank, but you just don't have enough gold for that. So, like, he has a decent amount of CC, but he's very low range on his engage, and he just doesn't do a lot of damage if you don't have Leandries. Yeah, Braum is good. Braum is good at kiting. I mean, Braum's playable in almost anything. I would say, like, poke mages are historically one of his biggest problems, or other enchanters. So, like, if you're up against a Janna and they have a really high scaling ADC, like they just outscale you, Jinx Janna or something like that, that's a problem, because he can't really get to the back line too well. But if he just gets to chill and just kind of be a meat shield in the middle
Until minions spawn.
and just clog everybody up. Like, I mean, we saw him walk in the bush. He must have grabbed a drink or something. Damn it, Kaisa got that too. It's rough. I don't know. I mean, I've done it before too.
Minions have spawned.
I thought he saw it.
The darker the night, the brighter the star.
I mean, people will auto if there's a Braum, you know, passives. Like, Galio even autos too. He gets empowered auto attacks between his abilities. In theory, he should be autoing. I haven't really seen a Galio in a while. I know he got a few buffs. I think he even got nerfed a couple times. He got, like, adjusted. Which is really weird. I'm like, dude, he's bad. Just buff him. They adjusted him. Galio has an interesting kit. I always thought he'd be kind of cool as a support, but they just never really found a way to balance him that well for support. They always want him to be, like, a mid laner. I think they should just lower his cooldowns a lot. Lower his cooldowns, lower his damage, just make him a support. His ult is really annoying though, so like, I'm happy when he's not in the meta, if I'm playing Engage, which is what I'm mostly playing these days. It's like Shin and guess I'll just get shield here, just in case Smolder gets hooked.
Life is good.
So I blocked all the missiles there, which is nice. Nice.
Even heavier.
Get a little heal off of Font. Ugh, Smolder's getting wrecked though.
Enemy has been slain.
Okay.
Mother always said, don't lose. Not so fast.
I think we outscale. I don't know. It's close on the scaling. I don't know. I haven't played him in a long time. Septon is like his most OP state. Yeah, we're leaving lane, but
An enemy has been slain.
alright, let's... Well, they might just gang up on mid there. I think I just go ahead and back. I kind of couldn't decide what I wanted to do. I think we're supposed to back. It is lightly pushing towards us.
These shoes, they are too tight.
Man, those minions really move quick. Hey, what's up, Lucas? Oh. Iwanuma? Wait. Is that the same Iwa as usual? I can't remember how it was spelled. Did you just change your name, or is this a different Iwa?
Safe with
Oh, John, I meant to say I might do a, if I can ever get my sleep schedule on track. Surely it's the same Iwa though, but I don't know. I don't know how popular that type of phrasing is. I know, but that was mostly, I think, like Fernando. I can't remember his name for sure. Back in the day, I think it was Fernando that did that type of impersonation stuff the most. I don't think he's been here for like a billion years. Can I stay for? Yeah, I probably just need to back. I don't know what else I can get. I think I just have to stay and try to hold this wave.
Move like they hurt.
Well, shit.
See? That wasn't so bad.
Guess I should have flashed it. I mean, it was crashing anyways. I don't know why I was up there so far. Did they just kill them all here, though? Oh, he eats so slow. So slowly. Alright.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, I got you, Lucas. Skill diffed myself. I figured it probably was. But I might try to do an afternoon stream. If I can get my sleep schedule fixed. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep it up, but I was just thinking I could do like a little 2-hour stream, just like a lunchtime stream for people in the afternoon. Maybe some people watch it. So that'd be like lunchtime in the States, and that'd be in Europe. That'd be around dinner time. So I couldn't do a super long one, but I think just a couple hours and just make it like a variety stream where I'm like streaming a single player game or something. Just for people who want to come in and chat. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to care about the actual game. Just if people just want to hang out and chat or whatever.
Mother always said.
Yeah, I'll probably start off with FF14 in there, at least in the main story mode. Just chat with people, but I might go back and play Witcher, Baldur's Gate 3 or something.
An enemy has been slain.
On the jump.
He's got biscuits. He doesn't have a Riju bead, but
Sometimes I see heart.
I accidentally W'd to a minion too instead of Smolder. I don't think it made a huge difference there, but oh my god.
When going gets tough,
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Well, at least we traded.
That's three.
was safe withdrawn.
Oof, that fucked the wave pretty hard. That W.
An ally has been slain.
Oh yeah, I gotta get steel caps here too.
Enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Gotta be careful with the nude scenes. I guess that's true, yeah. I don't think there are that many, but there are a few.
Let us go.
I might have to, if something like that's happening, I might just have to say, like, alright, end of this episode. We'll start the next episode after that scene. That felt really late, right? Like, if he came in immediately, he would have been on top of them, but he went after I'd already jumped out. YouTube doesn't like them, that's true. Yeah, people are, I've told you this before, people are just so weird about nudity. That's not even like, I don't know, I haven't seen all the nude scenes in there, but there's like narrative to that, right? Like there's one thing if it's just like gratuitous, you know, just porn, right? Which, I don't think there's anything wrong with porn either. For most people, obviously some people get addicted and whatever. But, if it's part of the narrative, right? If it's like a legit romantic scene, right, between two characters that there's a story more than like, hey, here's the plumber, you know, or whatever. Especially if it's like integral to the plot. I mean, sexuality is a big part of the human experience. It's a big part of storytelling. It's a big part of, you know, a lot of characters' motivations, a lot of people's motivations. And, you know, it's part of a greater romantic ecosystem, you know. And so if it's something like that, like, I don't know why people trip about that so much, but... I think in Europe they're a lot more chill about it. It's like this old puritanical, like... you know, corruption. I mean, there is something to be said, I will say, historically, like, it really was a good idea for people to be married if they're gonna have kids, right? And sex can definitely lead to kids. So, because women just didn't have a lot of opportunities outside of, like, a family unit, most women, unless you were an aristocrat or, like, very special, and a lot of people didn't want to marry women that had kids, you know, had kids from other people. And there's a lot to do with, like, clans and politics and... Oh, what? What was... oh, it's the fucking Silas. Oh my god. I didn't realize that was Silas. So it's like, I get it why a lot of... historically, why a lot of people wanted to encourage family units and people not just going out and having random sex. Because usually it ended poorly for the people that did that. At least theoretically. I mean, today's... yeah. Today's, you know, society is... it's still very challenging, obviously, if you're a single mom or a single dad, but it's not nearly as brutal as it was. And there's, like, birth control today. You know, there's a lot of things. So, I think it is different. But I think it just comes from that kind of old school, puritanical kind of thing. Where it's like, it's, you know, they tie it with virtue and things like that. Just to try to get people to not have sex. Unless they're in a stable situation where they can support kids, basically. Or they're at least willing to try to get into that situation. Oh my god, I fucking missed her. God, how are these fools getting out? Oh my god, Riven has like 0 HP.
An ally has been slain.
Man, they're just doing a lot more sustained damage than we are. Yeah. I think you're, like I said, I feel like Europeans are a little bit more on board with the program, and a lot of people sort of have been for a while. But it's like in America, the puritanical stuff. To a lesser extent, England, probably.
Enemy rampage.
It is getting grim.
You can always trust me.
How many stacks does Smolder have? Can't tell, but...
Move like they hurt.
Hollow Radiance feels kind of rough here too, because they're mostly physical damage. Like, it's the Nocturne that's kind of clapping us. This is dangerous. I do have Flash, but they didn't see me come in here.
Life is good, huh?
Okay, we got our barrier.
Enemy has been
I think that was a shutdown. I mean, we could still win. Like, Smolder still goes crazy once she gets so many stacks, but...
If you have problem, you come to me first.
And I should be able to stuff the Braum later. Okay, they are...
Even heaviest door can be opened.
Are we not? Yeah, let's just do this. This is an objective, right? Oh, we're not on a... Okay. I thought... I guess we're not that far behind. Like, it feels like we're super far behind, but... Oh my god. I didn't even see the Riven up there. Our comp just feels really bad. Like, this Galio just... I mean, his, like, KDA is not bad, but it's like the Camille and the Galio. I feel like they're not doing a ton here. Please. Okay.
That wasn't so bad. No sneaking up on Rome.
Alright, well, at least they're trading kills and not getting base tower. What's up, B-Rad? Can confirm it, I do not. Well, I think more and more society does it, but the problem is you've got kind of the older guard that is still appealing to kind of boomers and stuff like that. Parents.
Rome is on the door.
Oh, god damn it, that's so annoying! How can I even tell? Is it just like... he has a red one or something? The red circle? I keep thinking that's my Galio. I'm something. I'm just a little brown boy. Dude, that's like the second time, like, at a key moment where I thought it's my Galio ulting in, but it's their Silas. It's freaking obnoxious. I mean, I don't guess there's that much. I could have W'd out, or I would have, like, not gone in as far if I knew they had the Galio ult, but... it'd be nice if it said it on the tooltip. Which ult he had, like in tab or something. I know it says it above his portrait, but for those globals... alright, let's see if we can get at least a kill off of this. Okay, they're backing up. Wow, they didn't even get it. Nice. I mean, Lee is really fed. If we can play around Lee, how many sacks does Smolder have? 169? What? That's horrible. We need a second item on Camille. Let's just back it up. This is probably warded too. Galio's bottom. He does have TP. Who's he fighting? Silas? I can't go bottom. Okay, yeah, I've got Warmog, so I need to go ahead and complete that. I just need to pay attention, I guess, and just remember that he could have it. I think it's red, right? If it's the enemy. It still makes the same sound as his skin, which I guess makes sense, but... it should be like Silas laughing or something. I mean, I guess that takes extra effects. Well, I should have been more cautious. I didn't think they'd all be in that bush. Usually they're in this bush. They just have so much more damage than we do. They're so far ahead. Bro, you alright? What? How is it attacking the cannon? I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but... man, that's rough. Well, they just haven't nerfed it yet. I mean, we'll see. I guess they're letting it play out. I mean, it's not like the champs... it's not like one champ that's getting it that's, like, super powerful. It's a bunch of champs that are getting it. And just because a bunch of champs get an item doesn't necessarily mean that it's OP. Or that, like, it needs to be nerfed. Maybe. But... you know, a lot of ADCs get... or Dominix, or Infinity Edge, or whatever. Now, there is more diversity there, but there's also, you know, there's still a lot of supports that don't get it. It's just the tanks that get that. But there are some items that are just, you know, popular with certain types of champs. Locket. You know, Locket is still probably the most bought item on supports. So, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know. It wasn't a good comp for it. I kind of knew that coming in, but I just kind of wanted to play it anyways. It just didn't have any, like, ranged stuff that I'm going to block. Like, I block Kai'Sa's missiles. So I can block, like, Braum missiles, but you don't have... Your engage is not as good. And they just had a bunch of melees that can just sort of run through me. So it really wasn't an amazing comp for him. And I'm just not that great on Braum either. But... Because it is actually busted. It is. It's good. But... Anyways, I probably better get out of here. I have to get up in the morning, take the kids to school. But we'll be back here tomorrow. Eventually, I would like to get to an earlier time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Or not for tomorrow, but I would like to start getting on around like 9:30 and go till about 11:30 or so. 9:30 to 11 or 11:30, then go to sleep, then get up at 7, and then just stay up during the day. But I've been in like, I know. Well, I've only averaged 2 games for the last like half a year. Occasionally I play a third, but it just depends on when I start. Yeah, I just can't stay up as late because I have to get up and take the kids in the morning, but then I go into full vampire mode. Okay, I will, John. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, but when I do, I'll make a channel announcement about it and see if I can do like a lunchtime, like noon to 2 or something. Just for people that want to come by and hang out and chat or something. You know, it'll probably start off really slow. Well, let's be real. It's pretty much slow every night these days, so... It's just hanging out, chatting with the few people that want to show up, chat. But, anyways, and that's cool too. I'm cool with that. But, thank y'all very much. I'll be back tomorrow whenever I get on. Hopefully, like I said, it'll be a little bit earlier, but realistically, it'll probably be, you know, 11, 11:30, something like that. And I will try to see if I can do the support tier list as well. But, anyways, that's it. Thanks. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.